Welcome back to the channel. Today we're deep diving into kitten hydration. 5 hydration mistakes that can kill your kitten. A kitten's life is incredibly fragile. They're these tiny, delicate creatures that depend on us for literally everything. And with all their boundless energy and playful pouncing, it's easy to think they're invincible. But what if I told you that one small mistake, something countless new and even seasoned owners make without thinking, could leave them fighting for their life within mere hours? When a kitten gets dehydrated, it isn't just about being a little thirsty. It's a rapid downward spiral that can cause organ damage and tragically can be fatal. A young kitten's body has more water than an adult cat's, but they are much worse at regulating it. This makes them uniquely vulnerable. So something as simple as a bout of diarrhea or getting a little too warm can become an emergency faster than you can imagine. Today, we're going to break down the 5 most common and deadly hydration mistakes that can kill your kitten. This isn't about scaring you, it's about empowering you. When you understand these mistakes, you'll have the confidence to avoid them and help your tiny feline not just survive, but thrive. We'll go through each mistake, explain exactly why it's so dangerous, and give you clear, actionable steps to keep your kitten safe, hydrated, and healthy. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1. Giving the wrong liquid. The first and one of the most devastating mistakes an owner can make, especially with an unweaned kitten, is giving them the wrong kind of liquid. We've all seen it in cartoons and old storybooks. A cute little kitten happily lapping up a saucer of milk. This one image has led to countless well-intentioned but disastrous choices. I'm talking, of course, about cow's milk. Giving a kitten cow's milk is a dangerously common mistake. Here's why. Kittens are born with an enzyme that lets them digest the lactose in their mother's milk. But cow's milk has a completely different makeup and way more lactose than cat's milk. A kitten's tiny developing digestive system just cannot handle it. So what happens when they drink it? The undigested lactose just sits and ferments in their gut, causing gas, bloating, cramps, and worst of all, severe diarrhea. For a tiny animal whose body is mostly water, diarrhea isn't a small problem. It's a critical event that rapidly strips their body of fluids and electrolytes, leading straight to severe dehydration we're trying to prevent. For a newborn kitten, this can be fatal in less than a day. The same goes for other milks you might have in your fridge, like soy, almond, or other nut milks. They don't have the right nutrients a kitten needs and can cause their own digestive issues. So what's the solution? It's simple and non-negotiable. Only give unweaned kittens a liquid that's made for them. That means a commercial kitten milk replacer, or KMR. These formulas are scientifically designed to be as close as possible to a mother cat's milk, giving them the right balance of everything they need to grow without wrecking their stomachs. When you mix the formula, follow the directions on the package perfectly. Usually it's 1 part powder to 2 parts warm water. The water needs to be warm, around 100 Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius, to feel like it's coming from mum. And please, never heat the formula in a microwave. Microwaves create dangerous hotspots that can burn a kitten's mouth and throat, and the radiation can destroy some of the vital nutrients. The best way is to just place the bottle in a mug of hot water for a few minutes. Always test the temperature on your inner wrist first. It should feel comfortably warm, not hot. Remember to make a fresh batch of formula every day and throw out any leftovers from the fridge after 24 hours to prevent nasty bacteria from growing. By sticking to a quality KMR and preparing it right, you're setting the foundation for good hydration and nutrition and dodging a truly deadly mistake. Mistake number 2, using incorrect feeding technique. Okay, so you've got the right formula. The next critical piece of the puzzle is getting it into the kitten correctly. This brings us to our second deadly mistake, using the wrong feeding technique. If you've ever bottle fed a human baby, your first instinct might be to cradle the kitten on its back. It's a nurturing position for a human, but for a kitten, it's unnatural and can be fatal. Feeding a kitten on its back is incredibly dangerous because of the high risk of aspiration. Aspiration is when formula goes down the windpipe and into the lungs instead of down the esophagus into the stomach. Kittens don't have a strong gag reflex, so if formula goes in the wrong way, they can't just cough it back up. This can quickly lead to aspiration pneumonia, a severe lung infection that's often deadly in such a small animal. Even a single drop of formula in the lungs can start this terrible chain reaction. Another common error is using a bottle with the wrong sized hole in the nipple. If the hole is too big, formula gushes out, flooding the kitten's mouth and making them inhale it. If it's too small, the kitten has to work way too hard to get any milk, swallowing a lot of air and getting exhausted, which leads them to not eating enough. And never squeeze the bottle to force the milk out. That's just asking for aspiration. The solution is to think like a mother cat. When kittens nurse, they are always on their stomachs with their heads level. This is the exact position you need to recreate. Place a kitten tummy down on a warm towel in your lap or on a flat surface. Then, hold the bottle at a 45-degree angle. That angle is key because it keeps the formula in the nipple and prevents the kitten from sucking in air, which causes painful gas and bloating. Gently open the kitten's mouth and pop in the nipple. They should start suckling on their own. Let the kitten set the pace, never force it. To check the nipple's flow, turn the bottle upside down. You should see a slow, steady drip. If it streams out, the hole is too big. If nothing comes out, you might need to carefully make it a tiny bit bigger with a sterilized bin. Pay close attention to your kitten's signals. If you see milk bubbling from its nose, stop immediately. That's a huge red flag that formula is going where it shouldn't. Gently tilt the kitten's head down to let the extra drain out and give them a break before you try again, much more slowly. Feeding should be calm and patient. By mastering this belly down feeding technique, you're not just giving them food, you're actively protecting them from the life-threatening danger of aspiration. Mistake number 3, ignoring environment and water access. The third deadly mistake is a broader one that applies to all kittens. Ignoring how much their environment and access to water affects their hydration. For very young newborn kittens, this is all about temperature. A kitten's body can't regulate its own temperature yet. If a kitten gets cold or hypothermic, all of its body functions slow way down. This includes digestion. A cold kitten can't digest formula properly. The liquid just sits in their stomach and ferments, causing huge problems. More importantly, their circulation is compromised, which makes dehydration even worse. You should never, ever feed a cold kitten. You have to warm them up first, slowly and gently, with a well-covered heating pad on low or a warm water bottle before you even think about offering food. As kittens get older and start weaning onto solid food around 4 or 5 weeks old, the mistake shifts from temperature to simply not having proper access to fresh water. A lot of new owners put down one water bowl next to the food bowl and figure the job is done. But cats can be surprisingly picky about their water. It's an instinct thing. In the wild, cats naturally avoid still water because it's more likely to be contaminated. They also tend to not drink water that's right next to their food or their toilet area, because that could also be a source of bacteria. If a kitten's only water source is next to their food or litter box, they might just avoid it and drink a lot less than they need. Another common mistake is the bowl itself. A deep, narrow bowl can be intimidating and can cause whisker fatigue, where their sensitive whiskers keep brushing the sides of the bowl, causing stress. That discomfort alone can be enough to make them stop drinking. The solution is to make water as tempting and easy to get as possible. First, put out multiple water bowls around your home in quiet spots. Second, separate the water from the food and litter boxes. Give them their own clean spaces. Third, pick the right bowl. Wide, shallow ceramic or stainless steel bowls are perfect. And they're easy to clean and don't cause whisker stress. Finally, keep the water fresh by changing it at least once a day. Many cats are also drawn to moving water because their instincts tell them it's safer. A pet water fountain can be a fantastic investment to get them to drink more, and I can vouch for this, it works. And when you're transitioning kittens to solid food, always offer wet food. It has a much higher moisture content than dry kibble and is one of the best ways to ensure good hydration for their entire life. If you're finding this information valuable and want to make sure you're giving your kitten the best care possible, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We're dedicated to giving you clear, life-saving advice for your pets, and your support helps us reach and help more people and their feline families. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you won't miss our next video on kitten health. Mistake number 4, missing the subtle signs of dehydration. The fourth deadly mistake is all about observation, missing the early subtle signs of dehydration. Most owners think a dehydrated kitten will look obviously sick, but the first signs are actually quiet and easy to miss. By the time a kitten is limp, unresponsive, or has sunken eyes, they're already in a major crisis. Waiting for those late stage signs can be a fatal delay. The key is to catch it early. So, how do you do that? You need to become a bit of a detective for your kitten's health, doing a few simple, regular checks. The first and most famous is the skin tent test. Gently take the loose skin on the back of your kitten's neck, between the shoulder blades, lift it up and let it go. In a hydrated kitten, that skin will snap right back into place. If it stays tented up for a second or two before slowly going down, the kitten is dehydrated. Just know This test can sometimes be unreliable in very young kittens or in emaciated kittens, so you can't rely on it alone. The second check is their gums. A healthy kitten's gums should be wet, slick, and a nice bubblegum pink. Gently lift your kitten's lips and take a look. If they feel dry or tacky, that's a clear sign of dehydration. You can also do a capillary refill test. Press your finger gently on the gum for a second. The spot will turn white. When you let go, the pink colour should come back in less than 2 seconds. If it takes longer, that signals poor circulation, a hallmark of dehydration. Pale or grey gums are also a huge red flag. The third thing to watch is their energy and urine. Lethargy is a big warning sign. If a normally playful kitten suddenly becomes quiet, listless, and uninterested in anything, something is wrong. Also check their pee. A young kitten's urine should be a very pale light yellow. If you see it's dark yellow or orange, that means it's super concentrated because their body is desperately trying to hold on to water. The solution is to be vigilant. Make these checks part of your daily routine, especially if a kitten has other symptoms like diarrhea or vomiting. And one of the most powerful tools you have is a small kitchen scale. Weigh your kitten every single day. A healthy kitten should gain about 10 to 15 grams every day. If their weight stalls, or worse, if they lose weight, it's an immediate signal that something is wrong. By learning to spot these subtle signs, you give yourself the most valuable thing you can have in a crisis: time. Mistake number 5, delaying intervention and not having a plan. This leads us to our 5th and final deadly mistake: waiting too long to act or not having a plan in the first place. When you see those early warning signs we just talked about, the tacky gums, the slow skin tint, the lethargy, this is not the time to wait and see. A kitten's health can crash with terrifying speed. Hesitation is the enemy. Many owners might notice mild dehydration and think offering more formula or water will fix it. While that's a good first thought, it might not be enough, especially if the kitten is already tired and doesn't want to eat or drink. A sick kitten often won't drink on its own, and trying to force feed liquids is dangerous. Plus, their body isn't just losing water, it's also losing critical electrolytes like sodium and potassium. This is where having a clear plan is vital. Your plan should have 2 stages. Stage 1 is for very mild dehydration. If the kitten is still alert and willing to swallow, you can offer some electrolyte support at home while you call your vet. You can buy unflavoured electrolyte solution for infants, like Pedialyte at any pharmacy. It has to be the unflavoured kind, as sweetness can be toxic. You can offer this in a bowl, but it's more effective to give small amounts with a needle-less syringe. Just tuck the tip into the kitten's cheek pouch and slowly give a few drops at a time, making sure they swallow. Your vet can give you precise amounts. But this is the most important part. This home care is just a bridge, not a cure. The second non-negotiable stage of your plan is to contact a vet immediately. Dehydration is almost always a symptom of something else, like a parasite, an infection, or another illness. If you don't treat the root cause, the dehydration will just come right back. For moderate to severe dehydration, giving fluids by mouth isn't enough. the kitten will need subcutaneous or even IV fluids from a vet. Sub-Q fluids are when a pet injects a sterile fluid solution right onto the skin. This creates a little camel hump of fluid that gets absorbed slowly by the body, rehydrating them much more effectively. This procedure is truly life-saving. In the worst cases, a kitten may need to be hospitalized for IV fluids and intensive care. Your solution is to be prepared right now. Put the number for your primary vet and at least 2 24-hour emergency vets in your phone and on your fridge. Have a little kitten emergency kit with unflavored Pedialyte and a 1 mg syringe. Know the signs that mean go to the vet right now. By having a plan, you take panic out of the equation. You'll know exactly what to do and who to call the second you think there's a problem, ensuring your kitten gets the professional help they need without a deadly delay. Conclusion: caring for a kitten is one of the most rewarding things you can do, but it's also a huge responsibility. Their lives are literally in our hands. As we've gone over today, the line between healthy and in crisis is incredibly thin, and it's often crossed because of simple, preventable mistakes. Let's just quickly recap the 5 big ones. Number 1, giving the wrong liquid. Never cow's milk. Stick to a proper prepared kitten milk replacer. Number 2, using incorrect feeding technique. Always feed a kitten on its stomach, never its back, to prevent aspiration or choking. Number 3, ignoring the environment. Keep newborns warm and give weaned kittens multiple clean wide water bowls away from their food and litter. Number 4, missing the subtle signs. Check daily for skin tempting, tacky gums, and lethargy to catch dehydration early. And number 5, delaying intervention. Have a plan. Know when to give electrolyte support and when to call the vet immediately. The knowledge you have now is your best tool. It turns you from a worried owner into a confident caregiver. You know how to provide the right food, spot the first signs of trouble, and what to do in an emergency. You are empowered to protect that tiny, precious life. Thank you for joining us and for taking the time to learn how to be the best guardian for your kitten. If this video helped you, please share it with other cat lovers. Spreading this knowledge could truly be the difference between life and death for a vulnerable kitten. If there are any other topics you'd like us to look into and to discuss, drop the comments in the box and let us know. We'll see you in the next video.